Hello and welcome to the video. In this video it's a look at this camera here. This is one of the latest cameras from RunCam, yet another one from those guys, and this is the new RunCam Racer version 2. Now I looked at the RunCam Racer a while ago and it was a very low latency, no nonsense camera designed specifically for racing. So all the things that you wanted there to put it on the front of a very fast quadcopter were there, and all the stuff that you didn't wasn't. However, in this version, they've added lots of additional features. I want to kind of show you all of those. And there's also a new trick up its sleeve, which I haven't seen on any of the RunCam cameras before. So I want to show you that too. Now, as I'm unpacking it here, you can see how it actually comes and what you get in the box. This is a CMOS sensor, wide dynamic range you'd expect with a RunCam camera, 700 TVL lines, 1.8mm lens will give you 160 degree field of view. The 2.1mm lens will give you about 145 degrees field of view. The 2.1 is the one I prefer. Switchable between 4.3 and widescreen. NTSC and PAL switchable as well. Also available with horizontal, vertical and vertical flip, which is brilliant because it means that in those tight spaces when you're building a very compact quad, you might need to mount the camera upside down, and that's absolutely something you can do. Integrated on-screen display, one-touch scene settings. The low light capability is pretty good. It's about 0.01 lux. Super wide dynamic range I've already talked about. DC voltage of 5 to 36 volts. It's good range in there. Weight of about 5.5 grams and 19 by 19 by 18 millimeters. But the really cool trick that this thing has up its sleeve is you can control it from either a joystick or via a UART by plugging that into Betaflight. Now, this is something that is new to this particular Racer V2 and something that I'm particularly interested in. If I grab myself joystick from somewhere and just plug it into the back of the camera, then when it powers up it's defaulting to joystick control. I can navigate with the joystick as normal and I can move around and everything works exactly as you'd expect. But as it talks about in the manual, if you short the two pins that you would normally plug the joystick into when you apply power, then it powers up, and this time it's UART control. This means you can wire it up to your Betaflight or similarly controlled flight controller, and just like we've done in the Armatan Gecko build, you can go into the settings in the port and you can select the RunCam control. And that means that by just putting the sticks into a specific position, you can access the on-screen display of the camera itself and you can change all of those settings. I really like that idea. This has 16:9, it has PAL, it has NTSC, it has the on-screen display, it has VBAT, and it also means that this one camera, I can get a couple of these in, and it doesn't matter if I'm going to stick it in the nose of something like a little ZOHD dart or a little Sonic model AR wing or whatever, or if I'm going to stick it into a little quadcopter with a Betaflight flight controller, I can use it for either and control it in both of those situations too. So enough of me banging on about the new feature. Let me just show you how it actually performs. This is walking up the usual lane. The sun is very low in the sky. It's a bright sunny day, and this is the view that you're getting. The colours are slightly artificial. If I was going to use this, I'd probably decrease the sharpness a little bit and also drop down the colour saturation. It's a little bit artificial, but I can see absolutely everything. The wide dynamic range, which is a standard on RunCam cameras, is allowing me to not only see colour in the sky, but also to see all the detail in the shadows as well. And if we go up onto the bridge and I look down the canal, you can see how nice the picture's looking. It's doing a really good job of managing everything. If I walk to the other side and we point the camera directly into the sunshine, and that light is also reflected off the water, you can see what a great job it's doing. So in those instances where you're flying through areas with bright light, or as you can see here, the way it's managing the contrast, very quickly go from light to dark areas as you're flying, then the camera should keep up really nicely. One last feature I'll show you while I'm up here on the bridge is, let me just show you what the sharp function does. I'll turn that on and off and you can see the difference it makes. The big difference is the sharpness, which is a little bit high for me anyway. I prefer a slightly softer image, but the sharpness goes all the way up to 1120 stupid. So if you really like a super sharp image, then you can turn that on and off on the joystick. Just press and hold the up button and you can go into here and do all the standard settings. Also in here is your ability to change between NTSC PAL and also to choose between the widescreen and 4.3 settings as well. So in summary, what do I think? Well, I'm impressed. I like it as a camera, and it's a lot cheaper than things like the RunCam Eagles that I'm using in places where I want the ability to swap between a widescreen and 4.3, and also gives me all of that flexibility too with a really low latency. You can access one-touch settings. If you press and hold the right button, every 2 seconds it'll flick between them. So you have light tracks, which is suitable for light tracks or indoor racing where you have very bright lights and very dark areas. Outdoor is suitable for sunny days or outdoor environments. Indoor suitable for indoor, surprise, surprise. Cloudy for cloudy. And twilight is good for low light environments, such as flying in night and evening. If you just press and hold the button, it'll cycle between all of those. And again, you can have the joystick control set up. You can do that very quickly with the joystick, or you can access and change that through the Betaflight system. Only a couple of things, in my opinion, to be aware of here. First of all is that the cable that's supplied with it is very basic. There isn't a joystick in the box. So if you do want to use this with a joystick, you're going to have to find one out of another camera box and just keep that handy. And the other point I'll make is switching between the UR and joystick stuff is really fiddly. I ended up getting hold of a little paper clip and bending it into shape. Shorting out pins and plugging it in isn't very great in my opinion. It would have been nice if that ability was there in the menu, or maybe, as we've seen with a couple of other cameras recently, by maybe powering up the camera and blocking the light, maybe putting your hand over it at a certain point would allow you to change the control system. But hopefully that's useful for those of you that have seen the RunCam V2 listed. I'm going to be ordering a couple more here for new builds in the new year. If you found that video useful or like the content, then please hit the like and subscribe button down below. If you want to go the extra step, you can become a Patreon of the Painless 360 channel and help provide support for what I do here. All the videos created here are put into playlists, so if you're interested in a particular topic, have a look at the playlist, and they all are organised in there to make them easier to use. If you're not sure if there's a video for your particular problem or topic you want to know more about, then add Painless 360 to the Google search term that you're interested in, and that should find the video, article or content about the particular thing that you're interested in having a look at.